So last class we discussed about introduction. So in the introduction we discussed about the fundamental features and the fundamental features of Python. Okay, and data types, fundamental data types, fundamental data types. Okay, and conversions. Okay, and last about PVM, Python Virtual Machine, and also about the IDE, Jupyter Notebook. So installation is completed for everyone. Are you facing any challenges with installation?
Good
Hello.
phone, yeah, install.
Yeah. Okay.
So actually, we have to
Okay.
install Python, right? Python 3.1.
Yes.
So
Go with
actually, yeah,
Python 3.11 version. It's better to go with 3.11 version.
so that you don't tell. So actually, I tried like to install Jupyter Notebook. So, but it asked for Python also we need to download after seeing the YouTube videos. Yeah, we have to know.
Okay. So actually, the standard version is actually for every version changes there is a standard versions. Okay. For example, in 3.6.5 is the standard version. Now after that, the standard version is 3.10.10. So this is the standard version. At present, they moved to 3.11, but still some of the companies they are using 3.10. Okay, so install the latest version. Okay, now today we are going to discuss about these data structures. Okay, so yeah, the data structures. Mm, Defining about okay, okay. So coming to data structures, remove this one because these are the basic one. No need of this byte arrays and byte. Okay, so there are one, two, three, four, five. There are there are five data structures. Okay, list, tuple, set, frozen set, dictionary. Okay, and string. These are also comes under the data types only. But the main data structures are these are the main data structures: list, tuple, set, frozen set, dictionary. Okay, and coming to string, these are the data types. String is a data type. Already I'm discussing about the string. So the range. Okay, here I need to discuss about immutable. Okay, immutable and mutable. Okay, I need to discuss about this one, what is meant by immutable and mutable. Okay, so first I will discuss about mutable. So where are the objects will create? Objects will create in the heap memory. Okay, so objects always creates in the heap memory. Okay, objects always creates in the heap memory. So if you want, for example, I have a string. Okay, this is the in the object I have a content called a string. For example, I have data here, not data, some other yeah, data. Okay, so if I try to modify the same object data, okay, this address location is 1 2 3 4 5 6. For example, assume this is the address location of this object, and there is a object reference variable as is the object reference variable. Okay, so if I try to modify the content in the object, okay, if I try to change the content of the object, then it is called mutable object. Okay, This is called mutable object. Okay. And the second one, immutable. Immutable object. If I if I trying to change the object, but it will not change the object. Okay. Actually, the object in the data type will not modify. Then this is called mutable. Okay. So if I try to change that, then what will happen? I will explain that. So are you clear with this mutable, immutable? Mutable means the content present in the object we cannot modify. We can modify. Okay. And immutable is we cannot modify in the object. So in the same object we need to modify. This is called mutable and immutable. For example, let's take I will tell you the example. For example, I have a list. Okay. So don't worry about the list. Okay. I will tell you later in future classes I will explain about the list. Okay. So for example, this is a list object. Okay. In the list object I have one, okay, one float value, okay, and one complex value and one string value, string value hello. Okay. So this is the object. Okay. So what it happens, tell me in background what will happen. So in background, first of all, it will check for the list object whether present in the heap memory or not. If not, it will create a list object. Okay. List object, it will create a list object and stores the data inside this object. Okay. And the reference variable of this object is L. L is pointing to this particular object. And if I want to find out the ID, means address location of that particular object, what is the function? ID. Okay. This is the address location. Address location of that particular object. Okay. This is the address location of that particular object. So for example, if I trying to change the content, if I am trying to modify the content present inside the object, okay. For example, I want to add one more, string. Okay. For example, I want to add one more string here. Hi. L dot append means it will add one more string to the list. So now print the list. So at last, hi will be added. Okay. Now find out the ID. See, the ID is same. Okay, is it clear? So the id is same, means now I am able to modify the data present in that particular object. In the same object I am trying to modify the data. So now it is possible. So this is called mutable object. Okay, this is called mutable object. For example, I have one more object. It is called string object. For example, data I have, for example, I have power 1. Okay, s equals to power 1. So this is a string object. I just want to modify the content. So how it will create? First of all, it will check whether the string present in the heap memory or not. So with the name power 1, it is not present. So what it will do, it will create an object inside that heap memory, and the content is power 1. Okay, and it will assign a reference variable to this particular object. Okay, and if you say print id, ID means address location of that particular object. So this is the address location of that particular object. Okay. This is the address location of that particular object. So if I want to modify the data present in the string, for example, I have Pawan. I want to, in place of P, I want to change it as S. S of 0 means Pawan. So if I want to change it as S, see, string object does not support item assignment. Means This is called immutable object. Okay, this is called immutable object. Means we cannot modify the data present inside an object. Okay, what about mutable? If you want to modify the data present inside an object, this is called mutable object. Okay, this is called immutable object. Okay, and so this is called mutable and immutable object. Okay, so for example, string is an immutable object. So if you consider what is meant by, first of all, what is meant by string? String is nothing but a group of characters. Okay, a group of characters is called string. So P is a character, A is a character, V is a character. So a group of characters is called string. Okay, so string objects are immutable. So here an interview question will come. So first of all, S equals to data. Okay, and I have S2 equals to base. Okay, S equals to data, S2 equals to base. Here the concatenation S1 plus S2, S2. Okay, and what is the output we will get? This is called concatenation. Okay, S1 plus S2 database. Again, I will give S1 plus S2. S1, it is equal to S1. If I say print S1, what is the output we will get?
It might fail.
Sorry,
It will get a type error, something error. Why? Because
no,
it is mutable.
yes. So it is, string is an immutable, but still we are getting output. Okay, so what exactly it was doing is, if you observe clearly, first S1 equals to data. Okay, let me erase this one. Objects were created in the heap memory. Okay, first of all, S1 equals to data. It will check for data. Data is present in the heap memory or not. No. It will create an object with the content data. Okay. For this, the ID is some, and it will assign a reference variable S1. So this is the S1 reference variable. Okay, pointing to the data object. And for this, it will have some address location. For example, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, next, what is the second one? Base. Again, it will check whether the base is present in the heap memory or not. If not, it will create an object inside the heap memory, and the content is base. Okay, here the content is base, and the reference variable is s2. Okay, s2. So string is an immutable object, right? So we cannot modify the data. This is the address location. So string is an immutable object. We cannot modify the data. Then how we will get this output? If you see S1 plus S2 means it will concatenate and create a database. Okay. So with the string name database, it will check. Python virtual machine will check whether the object with database is created inside the heap memory or not. Here I have the data. Here I have base, but there is no database string here. So what it will do, it will create a new object. Okay, it will create a new object, and the content present in this object is database. Okay, and I assign that output to S1. So what it will do, it unassign it the pointing, it will unassign this reference variable to this object, and again it will point it to this object. Okay, if you see here, if you print the id, this is the different id, you will get different id. See, id of s1, you will get here different id. Okay, if you see here, print id of s1, you will get another id. See, both are different, right? So in the background this will be happen, so it will create a new object, so it will not modify the data. Okay, it will create a new object with modified data. Okay, so that's why string is called immutable object. Immutable means we cannot modify the data. Everyone clear, right? Any confusion? Hello?
So we cannot modify means we cannot override.
Means I didn't get you.
No,
No, no,
we
it's
cannot
just a
modify means, so here, here we are modifying, right? So
modify,
here S1 is data point.
modifying
We
the
have
data.
modified S1 to database.
So here it is not modifying the data, it will create
So
a
in
new
the
object.
future, the reference value for always S1 go to the database. It won't refer to data.
Yes,
If I
it
call
won't
that same
again.
variable S1 in the further in the coding, again always it will refer to database. It won't point to data.
Yes, it always we will get S1. If you print the S1, we will get database.
It won't get the
Okay.
data. Data is override with not
Ah,
override.
you can say you can say override. Yeah, it's fine with override. It's fine. Okay. So
So
string is
override
an,
means we can modify. Uh,
see, you are confused. You are getting very confused. So here we are not overriding. Okay. So instead of remember with overriding, so just try to observe this. So this is reallocation. Okay. S1 is allocating to database object. It is pointing to database object instead of pointing to data object. So now it is unassigned data object, means for this object there is no s1, there is no reference variable for this object. Okay, this is called anonymous object, means anonymous
Respond.
object.
Yeah.
So object which don't have any reference variable. Okay, so this is called immutable. So here, come here. Okay, all fundamental data types are immutable. If you see any fundamental data type, for example, a equals to 10. Okay, this is an integer, right? Print type of a. What is the type of a? Integer. Print id of a. So this is some id. Okay, if I try to change the data, a equals to 22. Okay, so will it modified or else will it create a new object?
We
Create
create
a
new
new
one.
object.
Yes, it will create a new object. If you want to see whether it create a new object in the background or not, again print id of a. So you will get different address location. See, both are different. Means it will not modify the data. It will create a new object. Okay. So here what we are observing, the int data type is immutable. We cannot modify the data of that particular object. Okay.
So
Means
we can say
in
we cannot
background,
modify object.
yeah, we cannot modify the object value. So if you see in the background, a equals to 10 means it will create an object, a equals to 10.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we can say
A
object. We
is,
cannot modify the object. Yeah.
yeah. So a is pointing to this. So if I say a equals to 20, again it will create a new object with value 20. Okay. with value 22. Okay, now a is pointing to 10, right? So if I say again a equals to 22, it will point out to 22 object instead of 10 object. Okay, so what is immutable? If you trying to modify the data present inside an object. Okay, if I try to modify this object value means then it is mutable, but here it is not mutable, it is creating a new object. Okay, so this is called immutable. So what is immutable? If we trying to modify the, if you don't want to, sorry, if you are not trying to modify the data, it won't happen. This is called immutable. We cannot modify the data present inside an object. This is called immutable. Okay, so all fundamental data types are immutable. Means integer is a immutable object. Okay, integer, float is an immutable object. Next, complex, complex also immutable object. Next, boolean, it is also immutable object. At last, string. So all these fundamental, these are all called fundamental data types. All fundamental data types are, all fundamental data types, all fundamental data types are immutable. Means we cannot modify the data of that particular object. Okay, immutable means we cannot modify the data of that particular object. Okay, mutable means we can modify the data. Okay, the same thing here, it is saying that fundamental versus immutability versus. So all fundamental data types are immutable, just now said, right? Once we create an object, we cannot perform any changes in that object. If we are trying to change, then with those changes a new object will be created. This non-changeable behavior is called immutability. It is clear, right? No need to explain this first line. And the second line, in Python, if a new object is required, then PVM won't create object immediately. So first it will check whether the object is available with the required content or not. If available, then existing object will be reused. If not, it will create a new object. The advantage of this approach is memory utilization and performance will be improved. Okay, and but the approach in this problem is several references pointing to the same object. By using one reference, if we allowed to change the content in the existing object, then remaining will be affected. So what actually means, for example, if the for example, for I have a list object, right? I have a one list object here. For this list object, the reference, I have so many reference variables pointing to the same object. Okay, I have L pointing to the same object. I have K and I have M and I have N. So all these reference variables pointing to the same object. Okay, when I'm trying to, for example, I have here the content 1 comma 20.23 comma 20.2.02 and one complex 1 plus 2j. For example, if I have this list, okay, for all the reference variable, the content is same, right? For example, if I want to change the content of L reference variable, okay, then it will affect to all reference variables. Okay, so this is the drawback, but for this there is a solution. I will explain about that solution. Okay, and according to this, once creates an object, we are not allowed to change the content. Okay, this is called immutability. Okay, here are the example. Practice those examples, then you can able to understand. Okay, Next, this is the byte array, no need. And range. Range data type also, it is a immutability object. Okay, we cannot modify the data for the range also. So what is meant by range means, for example, I have there is a function called range. This is called inbuilt function. Okay, I have a range. Range 0 to 5 means it will print the values. Okay, 0 to 5 values it will print. Okay, I am trying to iterate. I will explain about this for loop later in the later classes. Okay, print I. So range means nothing but it will print the sequence of values. Okay, it will print the sequence of values. So total how many values I have between 0 and 5? 0. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 6 values I have, 0 to 5. Okay, if I print the I, then I will get only 5 values. Okay, why? Because by default 0 is inclusive. Okay, 0 means 0 will include in the count, but 5 is exclusive. It will not include in the count. Okay, so if I try to print this mean, see 0 to 4 I will get, because 0 is inclusive. It will count in the sequence, but 5 is exclusive. Okay, so this is about the range function. So for example, if I print range of 0 to 100 means I will get 0 to 99. For I in range print I will get 0 to 99 values, because 0 is inclusive, 100 is exclusive. See, 0 to 99 I will get. If you count total values, we will get 100 values. If you see here total values, we will get 5 values, including 0. Okay, this is about range. So if I try to change the range object present inside the range, it is not possible to change. So that's why range is an immutable, because we cannot modify the data. For example, see range, range. So what is the range of 0 comma 5? Range of 0 comma 5. So for this we will get some sequence. Okay, if I print index wise range of 0, I will get 0. Okay, range of 1 I will get 1. Range of 2 I will get 2. It is clear, right? For example, range of 5 to 10 means how many values I will get? 5 values. Okay, range of 5 to 10 means what are the values I will get? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's all. 5 is inclusive, 10 is exclusive. Okay, so 5 to 9 I will get. So if I print R of 0, what is the value I will get? What is the index value of 5 here? 0. So 5 I will get. Index value of 6, 1. So if I give R of 1, I will get, which value I will get? 6. R of 2, 7, and so on. Okay, now I am trying to modify this content. R of 2 value I want to change triple, instead of 7 I want to give 777. Is it possible? No. See, so range is immutable, we cannot modify the data. Okay, in the same way list. Okay, and tuple set. I will explain about these data structures. In the later classes, I will explain about these data structures. Okay, and these are the escape characters. So escape characters slash n slash t slash r. These are used in the programming language for formatting strings. Okay, so for example, if I want to give the gap between two words, okay, for example, I have for one comma, okay, yes equals to print s means you will get the whole word. Okay, if I want to give gap in between Pavan and Kumar, so what I will do, I will just give the slash t, means tab space. Whatever the tab space I have, it will give the tab space. Okay, okay, if I give slash n means next line, so slash n is next line. So these escape characters are used to formatting the strings. So most of the times we will use it in the strings. Okay, so this is about, and ternary operator. Okay, ternary operators I will explain in the if else conditions. Okay, because to know the ternary operator, first of all you have to know about the if condition. So without knowing if else condition, you cannot know about these ternary operators. I will explain that ternary operators. Yeah, so coming to concatenation, so this is the important. Okay, so for example, so plus operator is used to addition, right? So when we will use the plus operator, so for example, I have 10 plus 20. What it will give? 30. Means it is adding. Okay. For example, if I give two strings, what it will do? It will give, it will concatenate the two strings. Okay. So based on the data type, plus operator will acts. Okay. If you give the two integer values, it will sum up the two integer values. If I give two string values, it will concatenate. Okay. So based on the data type, it will do the concatenation. So if I give one string and one integer, for example, if I give one string and one integer, it will multiply for three times. Okay. So this is about the concatenation and multiplication. Okay. Already I've explained this point in the way dynamically typed. So in the dynamically typed, I explained. So in runtime, it will check which data type. So according to the data type, this plus will do the operation. Okay. If it is a string, it will concatenate the data. If it is not a string, if it is a integer, it will just add the integer values. Okay. So uh, this is about the concatenation, addition, and multiplication. Okay. So coming to the byte and byte array, byte data type represents a group of byte numbers. So the memory of the byte is 0 to 256. So up to this 2 byte, up to the 256 byte, it will take. After that, if I trying to insert any data in the byte array, then we will get an error, memory insufficient error. So up to 0 to 256. So these are deprecated at present. They are using the list values for and also the numpy arrays. So now these are not deprecated, but we are not using. So this is about the bytes. So up to 0 to 256 values we have to take. Okay, this is the memory size of the byte object. Okay, and the byte array, it is exactly same, but we can modify the data. Byte is nothing but immutable object. We cannot modify the data. See, for example, This is the so in the list I've taken. So this is the type of X means I will get the what is the output I will get. This is the list of list data type. So what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to convert this list object to byte. So here if I print the type of B, I will get byte. Okay. So let me execute this cell. See. So this is the list. This is the byte. So after converting into the byte, if I try to modify the value, so I'm trying to modify the value 10 as 100. See, I'm getting the error. Means it is immutable. We cannot modify the data. Coming to byte array is same, but this is mutable. Means we can modify the data. For example, I have a list here. Okay, I'm taking this list and I'm trying to
For
convert
replacement,
this.
B of 0 is what? Is that function
Sorry,
B of 0 to replace the words B of
no, no.
0,
So B of 0
B of
means
0,
yeah, I
the
will explain.
87 here.
Yeah, got it. So B of 0 is nothing but, for example, if you consider this list, okay. So any sequence of values, if you take string or any data structure, string sequence of values, string list tuple, okay, set, sorry, dictionary, set is not index. So, okay, if you take any sequence of values, so here by default, they have the index values, okay. 0, what is the index value of 10? 0. Index value of 21. This is 2. This is 3. Okay, these are the index values of this list object. Okay, so how to access this 10 value from the list? For that, they will have the index value. Using this index value, I can access that 10 value. Okay, for example, I have this list, right? So from the list, I want to access 10 value. How I can access using x of 0? It will give the 10. X of 1 means it is just like accessing the value from a sequence. Okay. X of 3 means 40. X of 2 means 30. Okay. So using these index values, I can iterate the values from a list object. Same in the string also. For example, if I have a string with, okay, yes. So S of 1, S of 0, I will get P. S of 1, S of 2. Okay.
For each and every character also it will create index.
Yes, it will give a reference value. This is called indexing. This concept is called indexing concept. Okay. So this is the indexing. So here, what I have here. So this is the X. What is the type of X here? Type of X. It is a list. So now what I'm doing, I'm trying to convert this list data type into byte array. Okay. I'm converting the data type to byte array. The reference variable is BA. I'm taking as a BA. Okay. If I try to print the type of BA, what is the type of BA? Byte array. So in the previous cell, see here I am trying to convert the value. Sorry, here I am trying to modify the value, but it is not allowing us to modify the value. This is called bytes is called immutable object. Means we cannot modify the data. So if you come to byte array, for example, BA of 0, what is the value of B of 0? 10. Okay. Now I want to modify the data. In place of 10, I want 100. See, there is no error, means it is executing successfully. So if I print the BA, see the what is the value? Print of BA means 100, 20, 30, 40. Okay, to it is in the byte array, so we need to convert into the list again, list data type. Okay, 100, 20, 30, 40. So this is about byte and byte array. So everyone was clear, right? Any questions up to here? Hello?
Good point. So byte and byte array are immutable. Was mutable.
Sorry, sir. No, no, no. No, no, no. I will explain it. One second, one second. So total how many data types we have? I will give the conclusion.
Basic
Then only you can. So total how many data types we have? What are the fundamental data types? First of all, tell me the fundamental data types if CBS. Okay,
integer, yeah, integer, float, complex,
integer,
boolean,
yeah, float, complex,
boolean.
boolean, string.
Those are immutable, so we can't modify.
So all these are fundamental data types. All these are fundamental data types. Okay, means these fundamental data types we cannot modify their data. So these are immutable objects. Okay, so after that I have some more data types. Okay, so what is the data type? Byte, byte array, range.
List,
Okay,
listed tuple,
now these are the data structures. These are also included into the data types, but mostly we will call it as a data structures. List, tuple. Okay, next set, frozen set. Okay, frozen set. At last, dictionary. Okay, so these are all called data types. Okay, first five are fundamental data types, and these are data structures. Okay, byte is mutable or immutable? Byte is mutable or immutable?
immutable.
Immutable.
We can't.
We cannot modify the data. Okay, in the same way, byte array
Immutable,
mutable means we can
mutable. We
modify
can
the
modify
data.
that.
Yeah, range is
Mutable.
immutable. We cannot
We
modify
can
the
modify.
data. Okay, and coming to list is mutable. Okay, if you remember this order, okay, from here it is vice versa. First is immutable, second is mutable, third one is immutable, fourth one is mutable, the tuple is immutable. Okay, and coming to set is mutable, and frozen set is immutable. Okay, so if I say dictionary is mutable or immutable, yes, it is mutable. We can modify the data. Okay, so for these data structures, I will explain it one by one. For this, I have a different topics. So in the topics, I will explain about the list, tuple, set, dictionary, etc. About strings also, there is a different concept. Okay, I will explain about those topics sometime. Okay, any questions up to here? So by this, we completed the introduction topic. Okay, tomorrow we will see about the operators. I think tomorrow we will complete the operators. Yeah, we can complete these operators by tomorrow class. The tomorrow class. Okay. Any queries, any questions do we have? Okay. And Naga? Naga Arun Chandrayan.
Good. I'll good.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.